So traders, the markets continue to get a bit of weakness in the interim, and it could get ugly real quick. Let me share something with you right now. Also, I want to share this one indicator that when it confirms, it hasn't confirmed yet, but when it starts to confirm, it tells us that we're just getting ready for a recession. So let me share that with you. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, make sure you click on that link in the description below. Obviously you guys have been seeing me call these markets pretty much spot on. For the last week, I was saying this is a sucker rally. Get ready for the drop. Get ready for the drop. Get ready for the drop. You've been seeing me call these markets correctly. So if you do need help, I am your guy, right? So very first link in the description, guys, click on that. Go join my webinar, and I promise you, I will help you out. So let's have a look at this here. So let's actually start off with the good old DJ, good old Dow Jones first. And you can see the Dow Jones pretty much did nothing today across a bit of a doji today. Across there, but you can see how we're actually starting to sort of, we had a drop below the moving average and then we had a rally back up. So what does that actually mean? It means that, to me, by looking at this here, it means that we actually have a good probability of having a bit more of a pullback on this Dow Jones chart. So we had a move down, a move up. We're probably going to get at least a bit more of a drop on the Dow Jones. Now here's the really interesting thing though. When I look at the markets, right, let's actually bring up just a blank chart here, just a blank one. All right, this one here, right? So when I bring up a blank chart, we can see the Dow Jones is right at this level of resistance, right? And so therefore, if we have a look at the S&P 500, look at this here, big drop down, and then we had another move to the downside, as you can see, big move, another nice move to the downside today. I do see there's probably going to be more downside that come out of this level through here. We got the pullback, and now we got the breakout bar coming through there as well. So you can see a bit of a move to the downside through there. If I actually bring up the moving average, you can see the moving average is actually starting to trend down, and we're just out of this pullback here right now. But here's the really interesting thing that I'm noticing right now. Check out this. So this is the actual Nasdaq chart right now. Okay, so this is the Nasdaq chart, and this is looking really, looks like the tech sector. This market is about to get hammered. I really do see that happening, right? We had this move up, move down, a very weak pullback. We had this overall major level of support where we are now. And look what's happening, right? We're starting to roll over and break down past this level here. Lower low, small little rally up. Now we're rolling back over. I see that the Nasdaq out of all of them, to me, is about to see some serious movement on the downside. And I would not want to be trying to fight it, right? What is rule number one, my fellow traders? Rule number one is what? The trend. What is the trend? And the trend is your friend. So let's have a look here. Let's actually have a look at the actual gold chart as well too. So gold is actually having a bit of a pullback. Again, guys, this is why this stuff is so simple, but we just need to comply to it. The lower highs all the way down. Who's in control? Sellers. So that means right now, from a trading perspective, gold looks like it's going to have some more movement on the downside. And if we have a look at silver though, silver, no one's in control, right? We're not getting higher lows, we're not getting upward trend, and we're not getting downward trend, right? We're just getting a sideways movement through there. So that's what I'm looking at there when it comes to the markets. But I can tell you right now, guys, I'm telling you now, wow, the Nasdaq is shaping up to really see some big movement on the downside, guys. So don't be surprised if we started to see some really, a really big movement come on Friday, which is obviously tomorrow, right? Especially on the Nasdaq chart. It's probably, I wouldn't want to be long this market right now, which I'm not. I'm actually short. So there you go. The whole thing about, now I want to share something with you here. Check out this. So if you go to a website, check out this, all right? So if you go to a website, and the website, this is gurufocus.com, right? It gives you a whole bunch of yield curves and so on and so forth. And then we have the 10 to 1 year spread of the different interest rates, right? And we come back down to here, and what do we see here? And so what we see here, this is like, check this out. This is actually really, really, really interesting, right? So look at this. Check this out. So we have this market through here, right? We have this market through here. So we actually, you can see how that every time we get negative, right? Where are we right now? We're negative 0.571. Is that right? Negative 5.71. Okay, so we're negative 5.7. That's where we are right now. So does that mean recession's coming right now? Are we in a recession right now? Well, if we start to look at history through what this actually tells us, we can start to get a bit of a guidance on what to look for when it comes to the recession and so on and so forth. Right? So you can see back here, we went through a bit of a lot of gyrations back in the 1980s. Obviously, by the way, guys, I expect something like this to happen at the end of this decade, but that's what's happening right now, right? But you can see, look at this here. Every time we went negative, was the recession then? No. What happened? We actually had to get back into the positive, which is above. You can see above the zero line. Below the zero line is negative, which is between the 10 and 2 year spread is a negative, right? But then when we start to get back into positive territory, that's when we go from negative into positive. That's when things start to change, right? You can see here that when we start to get back into the positive territory, the gray bar here is what? Recession, right? Excuse me. 1990, right? 2000s, look at this here. We had what? We had a big drop down and a rally back up into what? The recession. Come back into the 2008 period. We got the negative periods through here. Then when we started to rally back up, right, back in the positive territory, we got the recession. So if we have a look, where we are right now, that tells us that we're probably not going to begin in a recession right now, right? But the big key we want to be looking out for when it comes to this is this here. We want to see this thing movement from here. We want to start to see getting back into the positive territory. And once the positive territory starts to come in, that's when the recession is going to happen, right? That's when we start to see the recession hitting. So for me, guys, looking at the stock market right now and looking at the markets in general, the markets have a lot of pressure on them. A lot of pressure on them, right? Looking at the actual stock market itself, the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones, especially the Nasdaq. Like the Nasdaq has a long way to go down, guys. Again, I have a 7,000 target on the Nasdaq, where we are right now. Right now, once again, we're really breaking below. We are really breaking below this level through here, this overall major level, this support level all through, somewhere through there, as you can see, right? That was the major levels of support. And you can see we had bit of a pullback up into it, and now we're getting a bit of a drop to the downside. If we get a bit more follow through here, guys, I'm telling you, this is probably going to get really, really, really ugly on the downside. Traders, I want to invite you to my webinar that I'm running today. And on this webinar, I'm going to share with you all the details to my #1 trading system for the last 17 years and how I only trade 1 hour per day. Plus, also going to be learning the 3 secrets that I had to master over the last 17 years to generate a really good income. If you go to johnsfreetraining.com, or there should be a link in the description, click on that. Go over there right now, register. If you are struggling with the trading right now, I promise you this is going to completely game change, because you're going to understand why you are going backwards and why you're losing money. And then I'm going to teach you exactly what the system I use that gets me a really high % win-loss ratio. So this is what I want you to do right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go over there, register for my webinar right now today, because you're going to absolutely love it. Or there should be a link in the description. And I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. So go to that right now, and I look forward to seeing you on my next webinar. Go to that right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go to that right now.